So, Colin, you've played some tremendous characters in recent years. What made you want to be a bloodsucker?
Change, diversity, the search to remain eclectic in what I do. It was just fun, something different, man. I'd come off the back of doing 3 or 4 years of characters that felt very dramatic in situations that felt very dramatic, and not to say that this film was without drama, but I said to the lads I work with, I'd love to find something that was completely different, that was a bit lighter than the stuff that I'd done, or wasn't confined by reality as much as the stuff I had been doing, and this came along. I was dubious about it because I loved the original.
The original Jerry the Vampire is something of an icon. Were you hesitant at all?
Yeah, no, terrified, and I still am, because I mean, people will judge what I do and what Craig has made and what Anton and everyone in the film does against some characters that are really well loved by those members of the cinema-going audience who fell in love with them at particularly formative years. Like I saw this when I was 10, 11 or 12. So yeah, absolutely. And I was hesitant, but I unfortunately loved the script. I was hoping I wouldn't. Really, when I read it, I was like, I hope I don't like this. Yeah. I just hope I don't, and then I can judge it myself.
Do you do that with every script?
No, I'm constantly, I'll read things that I hear are really good, even if there's no part in it for me, just to know that there's good shit out there. Because it's just nice to know there's good stuff out there being made, whether you're part of it or not. And then I met Craig, and the thing was that our Jerry was designed by Marty Noxon, and very differently. He kind of had a really different engine than the Jerry in the original. And Chris's Jerry was so debonair and so elegant, so suave, so sophisticated, and had kind of a compassion about him as well. My guy's just brutal, he's just a murderer, he's just cruel piece of work. So I didn't feel so much the pressure of having to emulate or be in the shadow of Chris. I was allowed from the very get-go a clean break,
What guided the changes you made? I mean, in terms of what you discarded, what you kept, what you tweaked, what was the sort of guiding rationale?
You mean in the final product?
Yeah.
Or as we're going, it's like, for me, I love the blend that Marty managed to get in terms of the horror and the comedy. I just love mixing those two tones, but primarily I wanted this movie to be scary first. And, once we had that, we could pepper in the humor for that release for the audience. And so that was really the guiding part of it, and just making sure within each scene, the characters felt like they were like truly invested in what was going on. And then we were trying to pepper, some release for the audience.
Peppering. It's all
Peppering, seasoning.
Pepper. Honey, could you pass that?
And what made you decide to sort of tweak Jerry to make him sort of more menacing, more savage?
That Marty had put that in the script, and there's this scene early on in the movie where Anton sneaks into Jerry's house, and he's going around and he finds like these hidden chambers, and I won't get into too much of it, but you get to see a side of a vampire that comes at it actually almost more from a reality of like, all right, he's actually kind of like a serial killer in the sense he needs to feed, he needs his blood, and how does he go about getting his victims and not being detected? And I actually really responded to that idea of it, and just that predatory style.
There seems to be a lot of kind of pathological gratification in doing what he did. While Jerry doesn't have any kind of human traits as such, there was this kind of psychotic gratification
in the sense
he's
very charismatic, but just completely void of emotion.
Yeah,
so much better than those lame Twilight kids.
Not to dispel all that, but I just really want to see this version of a vampire.
Cool. And what do you guys have coming up next?
I'm in the middle of doing a thing called Total Recall up in Toronto, so I'll go back to that on Monday. And what are you doing, Buzz?
I'm working on Pride and Prejudice and Zombies.
Jeez. So you're going from vampires to zombies.
Yeah. Again, it wasn't a calculated thing. It was just another great script.